What's up, family? Welcome back to Manifest Faith. My name is Brianna. If you're new here, what's up? What we do is we talk about God, all things God, and helping you learn and grow in your relationship with God. So I'm super excited to be back. Last week was bananas. We had the whole Hot Pocket Vortex thing. Everything was frozen. It was a hot mess. So I pray that you are safe. I pray that you are well. And I'm just glad to have some sunshine. So today we are going to be talking about struggling. And what better timing, because last week we were all struggling. So we're going to be talking about struggling and what that can look like and how to overcome that as well. So first of all, I do want to say that yes, we all struggle and it's okay to struggle. If you are struggling, like depression, sadness, anxiety, any of that, it's not because you're like a bad Christian. You're a human being and it's a part of our reality because we live in a fallen world and we deal with people. No, me? Okay. Even Jesus struggled before he went to the cross. He prayed 3 times for the Lord to take his cup because he didn't want to do it. He was struggling. He was scared. He was like anxious. He literally was sweating blood. So if Jesus can struggle that hard, then that should allow us some grace for ourselves in our struggle, because it doesn't mean that anything's wrong with you. We just live in an imperfect world. Now, a struggle can originate for a couple of different reasons. So the first way is a trial. And we know that from his word, God is the one that initiates the trials. And the reason why is to refine our faith and grow our faith and make it stronger. Now, I know that when we're in the struggle, it can be really hard to remember like, hey, this is actually for my good. But the Bible does say in everything that we should be giving praise. So instead of focusing on woe is me, I'm having a really hard time, what we need to be doing is giving thanks and giving praise in all things. So the second reason that we could be struggling is because of our own foolishness and disobedience. Now, before you turn off the video, just hold on a second. I'm not saying you're a horrible person. You're just a human being, and like all of us, we sin, we fall short of God's glory, and sometimes if we knowingly sin or repeatedly sin on the same thing, even though we know better, we can be punished. And God says that he punishes us because he loves us. As a father punishes their son to be able to keep them on the straight and narrow path, just as the same as God does to us. Now, I want you to have clarity on this. We are human, so we make a lot of mistakes, and that's what God's grace is for. Now, that doesn't mean you can go recklessly sinning and willy-nilly doing whatever you want to. That is when the disobedience and the punishment comes for our disobedience. Because if we look at something and we say, oh, you know what? God's grace is there, so I'm just going to keep sinning. No, you're going to get in trouble, child. But we do all make mistakes. And a perfect example of that is David. The Bible says that David was a man after God's heart. And this fool, he messed up big time. Why? Because he's human. And we are fallen creatures. So he literally stole someone else's wife, had that poor man killed, and then was expecting it to just be la-di-da. No. No. And so then what happened? He had a punishment. Why? Because God loves David, just like he loves you. So he was like, look, you did this wrong thing. You need to pay for your actions. And so he punished him by killing his firstborn son. And afterwards, he was like, all right, well, that's my punishment. It's done and over. I won't do that again. There you go. Now, knowing these things does not make it hurt any less while we're in the valley. But the good news is that we can trust the promise that God will never leave us nor forsake us. He will not turn his face away from us, and that if we bring it to him, he is willing to take it and bring us the peace that surpasses all understanding. And I've been struggling personally lately. And whenever I go through a struggle, in the beginning, I'm always very self-centered, because it's hard not to be self-centered when you're struggling. But once you realize, like, oh, hey, wait, I'm going through a trial, or I'm struggling, or something's happening, so let me start, breaking out of it and start praising. Once you do that, God then comes and says, okay, I know your faith is growing. I see you. Let me help you out. And it's not instantly all better, but it is lighter, and I do feel better once I start implementing these next couple of steps that I'm about to share with you. So then how do we survive the struggle? Number one is with prayer, always. The Bible says in 1 Thessalonians 5:16 through 18, rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and give thanks in all circumstances. For this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. Number two, worship music on blast. Because in Psalms 22 verse 3, it says, God inhabits the praise of his people. And when you're worshiping and you are just glorifying God, it can be kind of difficult to be really upset in that moment. Because when he comes and inhabits his praise, think about it, he's literally coming into your presence, and he is sharing his presence with you. And when you're in the presence of the Lord, it's just so good. I need a better vocabulary so I can describe eloquently the way that it feels, but our minds can't fathom the infinite beauty of God. So y'all gonna have to just understand that it's really good. Number three, we help somebody else. I know what you're thinking. Bree, if I'm over here drowning, you want me to try and save someone else? Yeah. 2 Corinthians 1:4 says, he comforts us in our troubles so that we can comfort others when they are troubled. We will be able to give them the same comfort God has given us. So it's not actually you doing it. You go through these struggles so that you can be a light to somebody else. And when you're in a struggle, check on your friends, check on the people around you, volunteer at the church, give your time and energy to take yourself from being focused on yourself to being focused on God's kingdom. Because when you stop looking at yourself and you start to focus on someone else, it helps bring things into perspective. And that can really help pull you out of the struggle. And I can personally testify that whenever I'm in a struggle, God is so awesome. He'll literally drop someone on me, and then they're like, help me. And I'm like, all right, I would love to. And instantly, it brings you out of yourself. And it's really cool to experience. So when you're in the struggle, look for someone else to help. Volunteer at church with your mask on, and give yourself to somebody else. Number 4, we just have to trust God's word, because his word says that his promises will never come back void. If we understand that all things work out for our good, even the bad things, we know that this too shall pass. And we know that on the other side, we're going to be taken from glory to glory. And it is a blessing to have that truth and to hold on to it, even when you literally just want to go home. I'm like, Lord, let me sleep on the grass. I don't care. I'm done. Okay? But struggle bus. But we can trust that God has a plan, and that God is holding on to you even when you literally can't hold on to yourself. And you're not supposed to hold on to yourself. Don't rely on your own understanding, but rely on the truth and the peace that surpasses all understanding. Romans 8:28 says, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Another promise that we can just trust in and rest on. And so those are the 4 steps that I normally use to try and work my way out of a struggle. Remain focused on what God is actually doing instead of the things around me that I feel like are falling apart. And it helps. It really does. And I think it's important that we have the vulnerability to say, like, hey, I'm really struggling, or to just be transparent about it. Because a lot of times, I think, at least for me, I see people in a position of like leadership, and sometimes you forget that they're human, and you're like, oh, well, they've got it all together. I don't know what that was. But sometimes I forget that they struggle as well, you know? All right, well, that's all I've got for you, family. I pray that that was encouraging for somebody. Go ahead and hit subscribe so that you don't miss any of my videos that come out every week. And you can also follow me on Instagram at manifest_faith, where I build a community of like-minded Christians, and we just grow as a family and get all the snuggles and love. And yeah, that's all I've got for you. I will talk to you next week. Bye, fam.